everybody. Thank you guys for tuning in to the Life Changing Finances YouTube channel. So today we're going to be taking a look at the best banks for international travel. Now myself, I am well traveled. I've been to Iceland, London, Paris, parts of Africa. I've been Brazil. I've been to Colombia. I've been a lot of different places. Of course, Mexico, Canada, and those are just to name a few. Now, I am experienced and I'm well traveled, and I know what happens when you spend money when you're abroad, right? So in other words, internationally. Now, I remember in the beginning of me traveling across the globe, I would spend money, and then when I would look on my bank statement, I would see different fees from different bank accounts. Now, I've always had different bank accounts, but this is when I really started learning how things work when you're going abroad. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the best bank accounts that you can use when you're overseas, and we'll talk about some of the benefits. Now, the banks we're going to discuss aren't in any particular order, although you can see they're in a sequential numeral order. They're not in any particular order. It's really all about what's going to work for you. Now, first on the list is Charles Schwab Bank. Now, Charles Schwab is best recognized for its investment platform. It also operates a bank that provides online checking, and a lot of people don't know about that. Now, the pros of this bank account that they have is you get refunds on ATM fees, which are unlimited across the world. No monthly fee. Accounts that are linked to the brokerage. And then they have APY on their checking accounts. But the con they have is the savings account rates are below average. But that's not necessarily a bad thing. And this is why you probably need to have different bank accounts for different reasons. So this, for instance, could be your international bank. Okay, now let's look at a little bit about this account. So on that APY we mentioned, you're looking at a 0.03% annual percentage on the yield. Also, one of the most significant account features on the list is the international ATM charge refund. So when you're traveling, having free access to cash ATM machines is frequently less expensive than converting money at an airport or retail location where you may be charged excessive exchange costs. Now, I have that experience too. There's nothing like when you get off the airport and you have your US cash and you go to trade it in. What happens is with these transaction fees, they're looking to profit off you. So if you come to a country and let's say you have $500 cash that you would like to exchange, by the time they add their fees on, you may be looking at $400 worth of currency that you may get in another country after they've converted it and taken $100. Basically, a lot of times they're looking to get anywhere from 10 to even 40% during that conversion rate. So you have to be careful. So now using your card in this instance will protect you in this case. Now, next on the list is Capital One, and Capital One has the Capital One 360. So Capital One obviously is going to provide top of the line banking experience, and is backed by excellent customer service. I've had credit cards with them in the past, and they've always had some of the best customer service. Now, the pros with them, savings rates that are competitive, APY on checking accounts, which is almost becoming not the norm, no monthly cost, no minimum initial deposit. The only con is a few local branches exist for them, which is not particularly good, but since things are becoming more digital and online, I guess it kind of depends on what your preferences are. Now, with the 360 Capital One, costs are cheaper across the board, but it's the only bank that charges you for international transactions. In addition, the bank's monthly maintenance or ATM fees are not charged, making it easily one of the best banks for international travel. Okay, so any way that you can come out on top when it comes to traveling, and whatever bank best suits your needs and whatever you feel comfortable for, is something that you have to decipher yourself. But I'm here to tell you guys, some banks will take a lot of your money when it comes to the transaction fees, so just be careful. All right, next on the list is HSBC Bank. Okay, so the pros with them are no minimum balance is required, no monthly fees, new clients and referrals are eligible for bonuses, banking alternatives on the global scale. The con that they have is low annual percentage yield on interest-bearing checking accounts, which, like I said, it depends on what's going to be your preference for you. Now, when it comes to the traveling aspect, so other travel-friendly services offered by the bank include the opportunity to send money through wire transfer. International wire transfers are free for Premier checking account members. However, suppose the recipient account is not an HSBC Premier account. In that case, outgoing international wire transfers may be subject to a charge. Okay, so you have to do your due diligence on that. Now, next on the list is one of our favorites, Citibank. Okay, now the pros with them: create no minimum deposit checking and savings accounts. Citibank issues the most credit cards in the world, over 60,000 fee-free ATMs in the United States. Cons: using another bank's ATM might cost you up to $2.50. All right, now let's look at the benefits of having Citibank when it comes to international travel. So let's suppose you have a family or other relationship with the individual in another nation. In that case, you may need to transfer money to them regularly, ideally without paying fees each time. Irrespective of your approach, check the fees and currency conversion rates against the World Bank's remittance database. While many banks allow users to send money without using a third-party wire transfer provider, few do it. For example, Citibank offers free international transfer to other city accounts through its Citibank Global. Okay, so when it comes to, international banking, a lot of these banks, like I said, are in it to make money. That's what banks are for. They're going to charge you to hold, your money. They're going to charge you to make transactions. They're going to charge you to wire. But in this case, we want to go with the banks that are going to benefit us the best in the long run. So that's what we have, guys. So on our list, again, we've got Citibank, we've got HSBC, we've got Capital One, and then we've got Charles Schwab. So again, Charles Schwab, in my opinion, is probably going to be one of the better international bank accounts that you can get. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. Hopefully you got something out of this video. Maybe or maybe not, we gave you some banks that you can look into as far as international travel. Now, keep in mind, all of the banks are probably going to make something off of you in the long run when it comes to international travel. But in my opinion, these are probably some of the better choices. This doesn't mean that there aren't better ones out there, but as far as what I know and from my experience, these are the best bank accounts that you can use as far as international travel. But I will say this: if you look into some credit cards, for example, some of them have zero international transaction fees. So, if you're looking into maybe American Express, they have different cards that eliminate those transaction fees. Basically, it's an incentive for using their money that they're letting you borrow, and they're not going to charge you, especially if you have a card like the gold card or the platinum card, where you pay a yearly fee to use those cards. So just look into those. If you're not liking the bank accounts, But if you're a person that's not responsible in paying back on your credit, I would not go with credit cards. But again, credit cards are for those that are able to pay those bills back every month, and it's an incentive to use free money. That's what credit cards are. Well, that's what I got for you guys today. Thank you guys. I'm out. Peace.